Hello and welcome to Moneylife. This is Sucheta Dalal. This week we are going to talk about an issue that really should scandalize you. Did you know that over 2 lakh crore, yes, look at the number, 2 lakh crore of money belonging to ordinary Indians is locked up in unclaimed assets? You'll wonder how and why would anyone want to have their money locked up. This is not happening today. This has happened and accumulated slowly over a 25-year period. But the number is enormous. Who does it represent? People like you and me who put money in bank deposits, mutual funds, insurance, post office savings and what have you, not property, and have not claimed it back either because you've forgotten you had bank accounts, moved on to another city, or in most cases because people are dead and their heirs, claimants, legal heirs are trying to get this money and not succeeding. Because the process of claiming this unclaimed rightful money is so frustrating and the government doesn't account it properly. So it's difficult to reclaim the shares or the bank accounts either by the original owners or those who are their successors and heirs. Now, this is hard-earned money belonging to people like us. It includes Provident Fund, it includes EPFO, corporate fixed deposits. So should it really worry us and anger us that the money is out there? Why does this happen? Because it's not all sitting in one pool with a nice little number on top, like I've said. It is disaggregated and lying in different places with different regulators, sections of the government, different ministries, and even calculating this sum is difficult. It was a huge study and an exercise done by Moneylife Foundation, which is our sister not-for-profit entity, to arrive at this number. I think the number is very conservative. The number is likely to be much more, and I'm going to tell you how. So I have been working on this for a long time, but over the past 2 years, we stepped it up a bit. So in 2022, I filed a public interest litigation in the Supreme Court with the support of senior counsel Prashant Bhushan, so generously appeared for us. The PIL makes one central point that let's have a centralized platform which details unclaimed money belonging to investors and depositors and make it accessible for rightful heirs to get it using technology. The Supreme Court considered the issue important enough to issue notices to various regulators. There have been a few hearings, they have come back with what they did, and at least the issue got highlighted and things have moved a little forward. Little, but a long way to go. Sums involved, like I said, are huge. Although the sums involved are enormous, the issue is hardly discussed by mainstream media. Do you ever see a discussion, a 1 hour thing, the way you would on some silly thing that politicians would say? But one good thing happened. Very positive surprise for me. The Supreme Court appointed expert committee, which was supposed to look into the volatility of Adani stocks, actually took up my white paper as a part of broader suggestions on improving the regulator. They endorsed the need for a central unclaimed property authority for unclaimed assets with interest and benefits accrued on them. They also highlighted the need for imaginative re-engineering to reunite unclaimed private assets with the successors of deceased investors, because that's how the money goes there. Actually, some of them are still alive, not all are dead. So after this happened, we were pumped up enough to say, let's do a detailed study, which is what we have done, and a study done by us on the challenges that are faced in transmission of assets was actually released yesterday by Mr. K.V. Kamath, former chairman of ICICI Bank and now the chairman of Jio Finance. This was just yesterday, 28th August in Bombay. It was followed by a detailed discussion by experts on the subject. You want to take a look at it, separate YouTube video, we're showing you a link here. And happily enough, Mr. Kamath is fully on board with what we are saying. He said, I have been through the challenges of claiming assets myself. I consider myself an informed person. We have contacts who can help. So I can only imagine what the challenge must be for a lay person who does not have knowledge. Mr. Kamath personally went through a long process and realized how terrifying it is to complete the documentation that's required even to claim shares from IEPF and everybody else. In fact, our study shows that every single person in a position of authority who can create hurdles does so. So the challenges, first of all, you wonder the size of the problem. Where did I come up with 2 lakh crore? So my first challenge was to find accurate data for our study, and we found that it's not properly reported. So 2 sets of accurate data. One, Reserve Bank of India's latest annual report, which says that 78,213 crore was transferred to the Depositor Education and Awareness Fund, DEF, this acronym, at the end of March 2024. This was a 26% jump from the previous year, which alone tells you how difficult it is to claim the money. Now, this is money already transferred, okay, 78,213 crore. In addition to this, we have calculated in a separate article, where you'll see a link here, that over 1 lakh crore is still lying, in fact, well over, because that 1 lakh crore doesn't include State Bank of India and one more bank, right? And it doesn't include private banks. So, over 1 lakh crore is still lying in dormant and inoperative accounts. This goes bit by bit, because all money remains in dormant accounts for 10 years, only then it's transferred to DEF. So every year there will be an increase as this money goes away, unless it is given back to the rightful owners, and I'm saying there's not much of an effort over here. Another significant amount is tied up in the IEPF, which is Investor Education and Protection Fund, set up under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. This is going on from 98. Okay. Now, in response to a Lok Sabha question, the government said 5,714 crore was pending with IEPF at the end of July 2023. You would think it's a small amount? No. This is only corporate benefits, dividends and interest, because Mr. Harsh Rumta, who is the founder of Fee Only Investment Advisor, former banker and personal finance expert, had his organization take this data from the IEPF website, list the companies and look at their value at the end of July, which is 1st August. He came up with a list of 1,561 companies where unclaimed assets are lying with IEPF. And believe it or not, the number is a staggering 82,199 crore. Now you add that 5,000 crore which the government admits to, and you have a figure of 88,000 crore almost in just IEPF, Ministry of Corporate Affairs alone. Another question in Parliament, the government admitted that nearly 10,000 crore of unclaimed Provident Fund money has been reported. Then we gather from other estimates. Lots of people have different estimates and different ways of arriving at it. Like I said, data is not reliable. But for insurance claims, we have come up with numbers that range from 22,000 crore to 27,000 crore. Unclaimed mutual funds, we've come up with a number of 35,000 crore by people like Recovery. They say it's based on their internal data. Another 27,000 crore, according to Bank Bazaar, is stuck in Employee Provident Fund organization alone. So what is the way forward? First of all, no matter how conservative your estimate, the money is at least 2 lakh crore, possibly much more than that. Other than IEPF and DEF, data is not very reliable. We need the data first. So, has the government done anything? After our PIL, IEPF, which is the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and Employee Provident Fund said, we are online, we have improved processes, it's now easy to don't get agents, and they are on social media claiming how well they work. That is not the experience of ordinary people trying to claim the money. It is very difficult. RBI has launched Udgam, UDGAM, a portal which means Gateway to Access Information. It allows claimants to search. The search is virtually impossible, says Harsh Rumta again. He says that unless you have a broad search capability or Boolean search, especially for common names, that portal is going to be useless. A lot of hard work. We hope the RBI will listen to us. We are going to share this feedback. Similar stuff is being heard from post office schemes. So it's not easy. Your money is there. Why does it remain unclaimed? As I said, it's because people forget investments, people suddenly die, there's no will, nomination, their family don't know where their bank accounts are. And more often than not, the harrowing process of making claims. So if there's a fight in the family, this can go on for 10, 15, 20 years because that's how long court cases take. Process of getting a probate is difficult. First of all, probate is an anachronism applicable to 3 cities, but there you are. Now, these issues can easily be resolved if regulators come up with clear standard operating procedures, standard forms, list of documents, and a penalty if you don't, when you have all these forms, if you ask for more for no reason and don't do it in time. The good news is that the Securities and Exchange Board of India has made commendable strides in this direction. In fact, it is the template that others should follow. It also has an online dispute resolution mechanism, very, very clear forms, clear set of documents, and no more, and timelines. Now, Advocate Joby Matthew, who has worked with SEBI and is now an independent law practitioner, has said that this is a good idea. So why are these things not workable? Because they don't appoint people with knowledge. If that happens, the arbitration process, he says, in stock exchanges works well. A lot of issues can be resolved. But that is SEBI alone, right? SEBI has to work with Ministry of Corporate Affairs because this big chunk of 88,000 crore is there. And it can't happen without both ministries, finance, under which SEBI operates, and corporate affairs under the same minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, work together. So it's possible. Other regulators are less proactive. We have been at RBI asking them to do things. Hopefully they learn about SOPs from SEBI. Instead, they ask Indian Banks Association. They have motherhood statements. Nothing has worked so far. Now, what's the way forward? Some states already have births and deaths. Now, SEBI has a central death registry for RTAs to use. So, any RTA has to report it there. You don't have to keep making multiple applications. We are saying expand that. Some states already have a birth and death registry. If that can be done national, because a modern India where both people at migrant labor and top IT jobs, as well as those working abroad, are highly mobile, moving across the country, moving across the world for work. So you need a central repository of births and deaths which can be verified and accessed online. You've done it with Aadhaar. It can be done for this. It will be transparent and efficient and reduce the amount of unclaimed assets. Government has also, in the last 10 years, pushed us to do all kinds of things. We're all using UPI. We're all filing our taxes online. We're submitting statutory information. We do KYC, know your customer compliances online, even for companies. The tax department, not only does it make you file taxes, but because of your annual assets, annual information statement, they know everything that you do, from where you travel, how much have you spent, your assets, your liabilities. They have a better snapshot than any regulator. Why can't this be combined in order to help people, which is the legal heirs, claim their inheritance? Now, what I'm trying to say here is that we have the building blocks in place for a comprehensive solution. Or as Mr. Kamath puts it, the way we are connected with technology, it should be a simple use of tech to efficiently solve the challenges in transmission. Process has to be automatic and simple. The blocks are in place. One final obstacle. Why does this not work? Why do people keep asking us documents, sureties, indemnity, bonds? If you have one set of sureties, get a succession certificate, get a probate, because they're all afraid of fraud. They think all of us are fraudulent. We're out to cheat the system. In fact, probably less than 5% of the people are going to defraud the government. But government officials use this as the biggest excuse to keep imposing more and more hurdles. So, is this fear significant enough for 2 lakh crore and above to be stuck with government? No, we should all fight for it. So, if fraud is an issue, you have to learn from the insurance business how to tackle it. Insurance makes payments first. Yes, there is fraud. They investigate, they start criminal proceedings. You will have to do it here. You will have to have some amount of insurance out of this money, which is our money lying with the government. Have an insurance cover for a certain amount of fraud. Use that money also for fraud-related investigation. But it cannot be your excuse anymore for money growing at the rate of 15 to 20% per annum as unclaimed deposits. It's no longer an excuse to deprive Indians of an efficient way to claim their rightful investments and inheritance. If you agree, start spreading the word, make people aware of the the size of this money and shake your local regulator, your member of parliament, and say, speak out for us. Thank you.